Love Island episode 15 has wrapped. Let's have a recap. So we jump right back into recoupling is the first thing we see. Tony chooses Harrison, Meg chooses Dijon, Shakira chooses Harry, Yasmin chooses Ben, Alema and Ramel, Megan and Tommy, Helena and Shay, and Emily and Connor. Emily and Connor go speak kind of right after the recoupling is done, and Connor like reaffirms like, yeah, I'm still getting to know people and things like that. And Emily reaffirms her decision before from like, can take a step off, they're gonna cool off. In the morning they talk and Connor's like, yeah, if you were in my position you probably would do the same. Emily's getting the sense that like he wants her to like, you know, obviously maybe see more of the people, that way he can be easier to fly away or something like that. Megan and Connor talk and he's still laying it on thick, things like that. He says like, I would pick you if I had the choice right now, like do a recouple and things like that. During this conversation Tommy pulls Emily, and you know, he says like, I was attracted to you when you first came in. I feel like, you know, basically they talk about being open, and there's, you know, the whole wife swap thing that's been talked about. Maybe that's going to happen, who knows. Megan says to Yaz and Shakira later like, you know, Connor's laying it on thick, as I said before, so like that's still happening, and she's kind of still deciding there. She feels like something's like maybe more sexual with Connor, things like that, who knows, but she obviously cares about Tommy. Helena and Harry talk. Obviously Shakira chose Harry in the recoupling, and even earlier in the challenge from episode prior, there was like, Shakira said like she's still open to getting to know Harry, like if he changes and things like that. And Shakira says to Harry, Helena says to Harry like, I can't be your friend. You didn't even try. You just like went right to Shakira. You're also going to change for her, and I didn't even get that. And Harry does say sorry. He says like, you feel like you were too good for me and things like that. And Helena says like, I said I was finished, but I thought we weren't done. I thought we would still talk and things like that, but we never did. And again, he says sorry. He says like it felt too fresh to talk, whatever. Helena's kind of upset about the situation. He's talking to the Megans. Cries a little bit, says I'm fed up of feeling like this. Harry cries a little bit himself, talking to Dijon, like feel like he's self-sabotage, feel like he's just, you know, he's sad about like losing her as a friend, like completely, but also like losing her as a friend. Now she can't really be around him, that kind of thing. Dijon says, I feel like I would like you two to be together. He also says this to Helena later, who again is saying like, you know, I have something for Harry still, but who knows. Shakira fair played to her later, talking to some of the girls, talking about like, she doesn't feel like she needs to talk to Helena about the Harry thing because she's done it to her, she did it first. Harrison's still getting to know Helena, and Shakira talks to him and says like, if you're like ever off of Tony, just like be honest with her, upfront with her, you know, good friend that you would do. 4 new bombshells come in. We have Emily, we have Poppy, Caprice, Giorgio, and Will, and they come in and they get a text message for Emily, Helena, Dijon, and Ramel to leave, and we see they're going to the sleepover. So assuming that they will be sleeping over at this place, we've seen it in previous series, we'll see how that shakes the villa up. Obviously staying over at night is a big deal. The preview looks interesting. Emily, you know, says like, I'm not closed off. Ramel says to Poppy, I've not been occupied in the villa, so you could be the one to fill that role. And Caprice says to Dijon, this could be lit, and he says the same. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a lot of drama tomorrow.